Welcome to the WION podcast. Today we're diving into some pretty fascinating research. It's coming out of the University of Canterbury in New Zealand,
That's right.
and it looks at cannabis use during pregnancy, suggesting a potential link to genetic changes in newborns.
Yes, and what's really striking here is that this study, it seems to be the first one to, clearly show this kind of connection
The first one.
at a molecular level. Yeah. We're talking about how a mother using cannabis while pregnant, well, how that might actually be associated with changes to the baby's genes.
Okay, let's unpack that. Molecular changes, what does that mean in sort of simpler terms?
Right, so think of our genes like instruction manuals, yeah.
Hmm.
And environmental factors, things we're exposed to, can sometimes add little notes or highlights, changing how those instructions are read. This research suggests that cannabis exposure before birth might be one of those factors, potentially altering how certain genes work in the developing baby.
And this is where it gets quite specific, right? It's not just any genes they're looking at.
Exactly.
The study mentions these changes affect genes involved in neurodevelopment. What does that cover?
Neurodevelopment is, it's the whole complex process of the brain growing, forming connections, wiring itself up. It's incredibly active during pregnancy.
Makes sense.
And the study found these molecular changes, these sort of genetic notes, were on genes that are absolutely critical for that brain-building process. And importantly, these are genes that have also been linked to neurodevelopmental conditions, things that might show up, later in life.
Right. So connecting those dots, what's the big takeaway here? Why is this finding considered so, significant?
It's significant because it suggests a direct biological pathway,
Okay.
a molecular link between exposing the fetus to cannabis and potential downstream effects on genes that are fundamental for brain development. It gives us a clearer picture of a possible mechanism.
A mechanism that wasn't really understood before at this level.
Precisely. It moves beyond just association towards a potential biological explanation.
And I gather the researchers are hoping this raises awareness, especially now with cannabis becoming, more legal and available in many places.
Absolutely. That's a key point they make. The lead researcher, Dr. Amy Osborne, she really emphasizes that we need clearer advice for pregnant women.
Clearer advice.
Yeah, based on this kind of emerging evidence so they can make informed choices and potentially reduce any risks to their children's development.
It definitely sounds like a crucial piece of information for understanding, the potential impacts. Well, that's certainly food for thought. Stay tuned to the VM podcast, everyone, for more such intriguing stories to come.